Well, today begins the start of the Conclave, a centuries-old process of electing the next leader of the Catholic Church. And that's our first hot topic, brought to you by MJ the Musical at Walton Arts Center. So yeah, more than 130 Catholic cardinals are coming together behind the locked doors of the Sistine Chapel, barred from leaving or from having any contact with the outside world, and they must vote until they select the next leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. And when the choice is made, which requires 2/3 majority of the vote, white smoke will billow from the apostolic palace soon after, and then the next pope will emerge onto the balcony to greet his flock. I put a lot of tongue twisters in there, didn't
Apostolic is a hard word to say no matter what.
Especially when you're a little sinusy. But it's really exciting that we're getting, you know, obviously I was a child or I was younger when the last pope obviously was elected. I don't remember it that much. So it's nice to be older and be
able to take it in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fascinating process, you know, and like you said, they will release smoke every day, but on the day that it is decided, it will be white.
Exactly.
And kind of the world goes crazy at that point. But and I do feel like we got sort of a behind-the-scenes look with that movie that came out this year with Ralph Fiennes, Conclave, to kind of see what potentially does happen behind those closed doors, those cardinals.
It'd be interesting to see what some of those cardinals have to say about that.
I know.
Film,
I'm sure. Yeah, that is.
That would be super interesting.
Yeah. Well, big news for fans of all things witchy. Practical Magic 2 is officially in the works. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman will return as the iconic Owen sisters nearly 25 years after the original became a cult favorite. Warner Brothers has set the release for September 18th of 2026, so just about, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe a little over a year to go. The sequel is going to be directed by Suzanne Bier and inspired by Alice Hoffman's The Book of Magic, and it promises more sisterhood, love, and just the right amount of enchantment. So get ready to dust off your spell book and mix up some midnight margaritas, because this one's coming fall of 2026.
You know, one of our producers, Savannah, is going to love that. She loves practical magic.
I know that we were talking about this as though it could happen, and now it's officially been announced.
Yes, it's so exciting. And then to see those two reunite.
I know.
It's so exciting.
I know, yeah.
Well, Tom Felton, the actor best known for portraying Harry Potter's snobbish bully Draco Malfoy throughout all of the Potter films, has disclosed that he will portray a small role in the Harry Potter remake.
Okay.
Yeah, so the actor said, quote, "I'll definitely be sneaking into a background shot as an extra." So in addition to his small role on the screen, Felton is also expected to be involved in the production of the remake in a behind-the-scenes role. So what those duties are, we're not really sure exactly what he's going to be doing, but it's so cool that he's, you know, stepping back into the world of Potter. There are several of those actors that just seem to kind of go back and do things, whether that's for, you know, theme park openings or like reunions. So it's really sweet to see that.
I love that. You know, and a lot of times those child actors maybe they don't want to be associated with what they did as a child. But these actors from the Harry Potter series seem to love it and always gravitate towards and support it. So I rooted against this guy so hard as a kid, you know.
Oh, of course, you hate a baddie.
Now you're rooting for him. So,
no, I think it's so cool.
Yeah,
so
it's a great
exciting.
Thing. This is kind of a funny story here. Tina Fey isn't always truthful with her kids when it comes to her writing credits. Now, during a recent appearance on the Kelly Clarkson Show, the Saturday Night Live alum admitted there are times when her kids aren't impressed with certain episodes of the long-running sketch comedy show, leading her to deny her affiliation with some sketches. She said, quote, some ones have come up that my kids are like, "What is this?" And I fully wrote it, and I'm like, I don't know. That's so stupid, right? I mean, I love that she can disassociate, be like, yeah, nothing. I don't know what you're
who did
about.
that?
Yes.
So I have a question for you. I mean, put yourself in her shoes. You got 2 kids.
Yes.
Would you lie and be like, "Oh yeah, I have no clue"?
I think I would own it.
I did it.
I think I would own it, even if it was not that well liked. I think my kids know me well enough.
They'd be like, "You wrote that."
Yes,
that was you.
They would call me out and be like, "I'm moving on."
That was the withered flower, for sure. Okay, now this is such a sweet story. So Carol Burnett is sharing a sweet memory of another comedy legend and someone who had a tremendous impact on her life, Lucille Ball, who actually died April 26, 1989, which is Carol Burnett's birthday. That was the same day she turned 56. So In a clip shared from the upcoming special, The Carol Burnett Show, Mother of All Marathons, Burnett discussed how Ball in part helped the course of her career. She said, quote, she was so supportive, we were very close, and she always sent me flowers on my birthday. So this one morning I got up, turned on the television set, it was my birthday, and she had died that morning on my birthday. And that afternoon I got the flowers that said,
Wow.
quote, happy birthday, kid. How sweet. When I read that this morning,
Yeah.
I about cried. I thought that is so...
A gift from beyond.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
you know, I mean, really sweet, really story, and these two icons.
Complete icons.
You know, so, wow, I cannot wait to see this show, Carol Burnett's special.
Oh,
it's great,
love Carol Burnett.
Yes. Well, a man has been detained after he allegedly rammed his car into Jennifer Aniston's home. This is another one of those stories that I'm like, what are we doing with our celebrity friends, people? But here's what happened. The incident happened on Monday. The suspect sustained minor injuries and no one else was hurt. The incident does not appear to have been an accident, though there is, sorry, did I read that wrong? It does not appear to have been an accident.
Yes,
That's correct.
Not. You're right.
Though there is nothing to indicate yet the driver was targeting Aniston specifically. However, social media, of course, seems to think otherwise. The motorist repeatedly posted about the actor on social media, and the LAPD's investigation is ongoing. That suspect was arrested and is currently being booked and expected to be charged with felony vandalism. I mean, ramming your car into somebody's house? First of all, why? Because that's your car.
That's your vehicle.
Secondly, that's someone else's house.
Yes.
So,
and apparently she was home when it happened. Thankfully, obviously she's fine. And of course she's got security at the wazoo.
Yes.
But I mean, it is scary.
It's
weird that he was obsessed.
Yeah. We've talked about this a lot. People, you know, concert goers throwing things on stage at performers, and now we're ramming cars into homes. It's all a bit wackadoo.
Yeah, folks
as you
need
would
to
say.
quit. Stop it. Okay, now this also about made me cry. So a mini dachshund named Valerie, who was lost for 18 months on an Australian island, has been reunited with her owners.
Stories.
I know, they get you every time. So owner Georgia said that Valerie approached her without hesitation when they were reunited by Conclave Wildlife Rescue on Kangaroo Island off the coast of South Australia. This happened yesterday. So she said, quote, she ran straight up to me. I just burst into tears. So the almost 3-year-old Valerie was in remarkably good condition after 529 days spent living like a feral animal. So when Valerie went missing, she weighed 9 pounds, and now she weighs 15 pounds. So she's a big old girl now. So happy that she's home safe. Look at that smile. She's back with her mommy and daddy.
Yes, you know, my mom has a Dachshund, and I cannot. If Oscar was to go missing, I think they would lose their minds. So
see, if Ollie went missing, you won't see me anymore.
Well, I am so glad that they are reunited, and it feels so good, right? The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee just dropped its Hall of Fame class of 2025, and it is stacked with legends. Serena Williams, Gabby Douglas, Allison Felix, Coach K, and even Nike founder Phil Knight are all being honored. They'll join past greats at a special ceremony on July 12th in Colorado Springs. From gold medals to groundbreaking moments, these icons represent the heart of the Olympic spirit. So congrats to all of you inductees. Love to see this happening. And it's interesting because we're at an age where we all saw these people rise to fame before our very eyes. And now they're going into that Hall of Fame. It's very cool.
Being honored. That's so exciting.
Yes.